This is section 2.1, Federal Income Tax. So what is one type of tax that employers have to withhold from your paycheck by law? That is the federal income tax. Why are federal income taxes necessary? Federal income taxes keep government agencies and services afloat. What determines how much you will be withheld for federal income tax? So the amount withheld depends on your income, your marital status, and withholding allowances, or individuals that depend on you and your paycheck every month. It can be your spouse, or your children, or any other individual that might be living in your house. So if we go now to our concept check, we need to complete problems 2 to 7 using the married person weekly payroll table that you can find on your textbook on page 790. So for problem number 1, regarding employee Kane, okay, his income is $390 with 50 cents. Allowances, it's only 1, right? So how do we find this amount withheld, the $18? So we go to our table and we need to look for the range where 390 with 50 cents will be. So if I look at my table, I can find that it has at least, right? That is the first column. It says at least 390. Okay, so I find it here. And now the second column says, but less than. Okay, so I know that it has to be less than 400. Is 390.50 less than 400? So yes, it is. So I go and it says that Kane only has 1 allowance, right? So again, our third column says 0 allowances, and our fourth column says 1 allowance. So I will have to choose 18. Therefore, that's why we have $18 as the amount withheld on number 1. Now, if we go to number 2 for Kim, she has a weekly income of $435.95. She has 2 allowances, so we need to look for the amount withheld. So I go to my table and I look for 435, or a range where I could place 435. I have 430 here and I have 440 here. So at least 430, because that's less than 435. And it says, but less than 440, right? Because 435 is right in the middle of both numbers. So I now have 2 allowances. It can be 0, it can't be 1, it has to be 2. The number here is 16. So my answer as the amount withheld for Kim is going to be $16. Now number 3 for Kadina. The weekly amount is $399.95. She has she has 2 allowances. I go to my table and I look for a number where 399.95 fits. So again, 390 at least, right? Right here we had it already marked, and less than 400. So again, she has 2 allowances, so I am going to choose 18 again. Now number 4 for 1. Weekly income is $444.23 and just one allowance. So I look for a number where I can place, or a range where I can place 344. So I find it here, 440, right? It has to be at least 440, but less than 450. So 444 is about in the middle of both numbers. When only has one allowance, so it can be 0, but it is 23. So my answer here is 23. Now let's go on number 5 with Jean. So the weekly income for Jean is $382.23, and there's only one allowance. So again, I look for a range where I could place $382. So I see that I have here one that says at least 380, but less than 390. 382 is within that range, and I need to find the amount withheld for only one allowance. It is not 0, so it has to be, for 1, it has to be 17. So my answer as the amount withheld is $17. Now let's continue with Maurice. The weekly income is $421.98 with 0 allowances. So I look for a range here where I could place it. I find here 421 and less than 430, right? 421 is within that range, and with 0 allowances, I'm looking into the third column, which is $27. So my answer is $27. And my last example is Tukowski with a weekly income of 371.9 cents, and this person has 4 allowances. So I look for a range, right, where I could place 371, and I find it right here, 370 and less than 380. This person has 4 allowances, so it won't be 0, it won't be 1, it won't be 2, it won't be 3, it would be 4. So in that case, the amount withheld is $0. Now work on section 2.1 of your homework and complete 8, 10, 13, and 14.